it's me. It's Constance with Charming Custom Crafts, and my phone is being a butt. I had to switch my signal to our other one because we have two different signals. So, I did prep for today last night, and I am late, and that is because I went to Kohl's. See prior message that I put on right after 11. I do have the code if anybody wants it. Maybe it'll work for you. But it was 40% off, and it is literally unheard of. Even the managers had to verify it because they had never heard of it. But I want to apologize to anybody. One, that I didn't get on exactly at 3 or 11, and at the same time for me forgetting last week, and that's because I was working on my yard. And I will be sharing that next couple days. And I have a broken nail because I hit my finger with a hammer. But I will be sharing that next couple days. I got a couple things to do in the yard yet. Similar to last year, if you want to go back and look at that video. But I still have trees to do in the house, and my landlord has a maintenance man coming. I do have a 25% off, which I normally do not do outside coupons. And if you guys want to enter the contest for coupons and deals, which is not Kohl's, but I just put it up there because it's a hell of a deal. And then I got 40% in my email. So if you have a Kohl's charge, please check your email because I literally about crap my pants. So I have that. I don't know if it'll work for you, but just let me know. Anyway, so we're going back to the easy cards. They're going to start getting more complicated. And because I missed last week, this is going to be 3-7. I'm going to pre-record 4-7 and post that tomorrow so that it gives me a chance to get to it. So I do have some cards that I'm going to share with making today. Pretty easy cards for the most part. Some of them in different ways. I'm not going to do my machine with this one. The pre-recorded, I'm going to do my machine for those brother followers. Machine from brother followers. I'm going to do a couple from that. In addition to, because I'm going to record in segments so that I can go back and forth with what I'm doing. But I'm also going to use my eBosser, which is also just an embosser machine, but mine's electric. It's not the Gemini. This one's the big one. And I got that like last year. I love it. I have a bad arm. So we're going to start off pretty easy. And this one's super simple. You can use any color paper. You can do different colors, different prints. But you need some sort of cardstock. So I'm going to get to this paper here shortly. Because I did prep for it. But I'm going to do a basic 5x7 card. Is it 5x7? No. 4x6 because of the fact that I'm only using an 8.5 by 11 paper. So I am going to do 12 inches. So depending on which way it actually goes. No, not 12 inches. Am I doing that? 4x6. Oh my goodness, my husband, I gotta be right back, guys, because my husband set off the floor machine, and I have stuff everywhere, and he knows it, but he sets it to where, I know when he's coming home. Sorry, guys. He does it so I know he's coming home, but at the same time, my house is a disaster because I'm trying to get everything done. Alright, so let's make it easier on those who are new. I'm just going to take the paper and I'm going to fold it in half, and then we can measure from that. So that you guys know, in case you want to make it bigger. I'm actually not going to make it that big. And I'm just going to fold it. And I'm going to trim it from here. This way you guys can measure it from either your cutting board or a ruler. And you can always seal it down more. So it's going to come out to about 5.5. And I'm going to trim it down to 5. Where's the 5? I need to clean my board from all the sticky. So keep your paper. So, and I can do a 5x7. Yeah, I can do a 5x7. We're going to do a 5x7. I thought I could. The machine threw me off. And he's probably going to wonder why I don't have, well, my lunch is dinner. So I have a 5x7 card here. And you could do it this way, or you could do it this way. And I'm going to simply go this way. And I have a bunch of scrap paper. And if you guys have scrap Christmas paper, please use it. Or different prints. You can do this for any type of holiday. I do have some scrap out, but I don't want to use that one. I'm going to use some other scraps. I'm going to use that one. I'm going to use this one because they all coordinate. So they all kind of go together. I need some other red, but if I have a green one. Nope, not that one. I have that one. May not use all of them per se, but since I'm doing a different direction. And I have that one. And again, it's just scraps. So we're going to actually make different types of boxes and rectangles. Super easy. Again, you can measure them. You do know that this is a 5-inch wide, so I'm probably going to go in different shapes as well. So when you're doing an odd shape piece, you want to measure it. And I'm going to do, because this is exactly 1 inch, I'm going to go 1.25 inches. And it doesn't really matter. You guys can have a little fun with that. So I'm just going to cut it here. Still gives me some scraps. And I'm looking at the card, and I want to look at how big I want to make it. So I'm actually going to make it probably 2.5. Let's see. So let me see where I'm at, because I am at a loss here. Because I see you guys. 2 lines down, and I'm going to do 2.5 by 1.25. So I have one piece here. Just stick the scrap over. And then I'm going to do, I really like this one. And this is from a different project, so I got to trim that edge off. That's why it's two-sided. I used it last year. And this way I have a straight edge. And then I'm going to go back and do the same thing, but I am going to make them all the same, and I'm hoping they all fit together. They should, or we'll go shorter on some of them. But again, the measurements on that is going to be different no matter what you do. So my stuff is falling all around me. Now, I'm not going to make this one as big because we did 2.5. Let's go 1.5 on this one. Oh, 1 3/4. No, 1.5. No, 1 3/4. I'm going to do 1 3/4 on that one. So we have another piece. So now we have that piece and we have that piece. So we have that. And then since I have a little green, let's use this green here. And I don't need the whole thing. So just throw that piece over. And I'm going to do, I'm going to use this side because I like the fact that they're even squares. So I'm actually going to design off the squares. Maybe go a little fatter on that and try to keep in the gold. Nope, I don't need the gold because I'm looking at the other side. So, see, perfect little squares just like on your cutting board. And I'm going to make this one a fat boy. So probably that's 1.5 by 1.5. So now I got a little fat boy. And then, so I have like the greenie. And this one might be too much looking at it, but they coordinate better than that red piece. So I'm going to go in and do, I think I'll do 1.5. 1.5, let's go 1 1/4 wide. Make this one probably a little bit, we did this one at 2.5. Let's go to 2 inches on this one. Trying to keep them all different. Now, that's pretty much all you're going to need for that. And I'm going to put this over. And I got to pull my twine here. You're going to need a little twine or nylon. And looking at this, I'm looking at what I want to use. So I'm going to do the green and red only because right now that's all I have to coordinate with. And I'm just going to cut off a piece. If I can find my scissors, they were right here. Oh, I put it underneath the paper we're going to use. And I'm just going to cut off a chunk. And then I'm going to put this over. I told you I had a bunch of stuff out for you guys. Now, you can use different colors. And maybe I have a red. Let me look real quick. You could, of course, use pipe cleaner. Because I brought out a bunch of ribbon and stuff. That's just hiding down in here. And I would take pearl beads. And you know what? We can do it a little different way. We'll just do a little red. Make it a little bit easier for you guys. we're going to slim cut. Just shavings. And this should be easy for anybody to do. We're just going to do a shaving. And it makes it easier. So I got a shaving. That's one little shaving. Let's do another one. And it doesn't have to be perfect. No, I know some of us like it to be perfect. So, and then I'm going to put this paper over. And you can see I need to clean my mat too. So we're going to actually use this for a ribbon. And you guys can see where you can just put some tape on the back or some glue. You can use a snail or an ATG gun. And I'm just going to put a little here. Just enough to catch it on the back. And I'm getting a lot of cards done for Christmas. So I'm just going to take this and make sure I can find this spot in the back and roll it over. And then pull it over this way. So now we got a little ribbon here. And I'm just going to snip off the back here. And we're going to do the same thing for this way. And I'm going to take this little piece. I'll probably have to do another sliver. So what we're essentially doing is making little presents. It doesn't matter as long as it's even on the outside. It doesn't have to be totally even, but again, it depends on if you're like a little anal like me. So I have, it looks like a little cross, and you can do in different directions, which we're going to do here. I'm going to go on to, let's do the fat boy. And put just a little, it doesn't have to be a lot. And you guys can just go by that, or you can go by the front. This is why I try to do as many cards as I can at the same time. But again, I was prepped for some of these this time. And then we're going to do the same in the middle and just keep repeating. So if I don't talk so much here, then you know what I'm doing. I'll pull it over. Pull it up and over again. So far we have like 2 presents, and that is totally off, and it's going to drive me crazy. So I do have a little piece here, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap it around this piece because I don't like to waste anything. And this one's kind of both ways on both sides, huh? I forgot that this is double-sided. If I pull it. That way I don't have double-sided and saves me some more paper. For another project, maybe do another one of these. So I'm going to use this one, and I will be getting into the fancier cards like I said, so I'll put that over, and then we need to cut another sliver. So I probably should cut 2 slivers because you never know what you're going to use. So that's another sliver. And here's another sliver. I'm going to put the red back over. I'm going to move my cutting board. So again, I'm going to go ahead and repeat. Feel free to repeat as I'm doing it. Pretty easy. Like I said, it's scraps. And I'm doing this fairly quickly, so I'm sure you can understand. But again, presents aren't exactly perfect anyway. And you can do them at the bottom, at the top. So now we got 3 presents basically ready. And then I'm going to probably do this one. How do I have the other one? I'm going to do this one because it really doesn't matter. Okay, because I'll just do the one piece higher or lower. It's going to be the same anyway. Depends on where you put it on the card. And then it's going to be too small to use, so I'm going to get rid of that. And again, repeat. I try to make them as quickly as possible, but at the same time, I know you guys like to watch in real time. Which I actually enjoy because if I make a mistake, you can see what I do with it. But I also just make them happy beginnings. So we now have this, but we're not going to put it on yet because I want to put a phrase on the front of the card. And let me see if this one will fit. Yeah, we're going to go ahead. And if you can see, we can put it up here. We can put it down here, which I'm actually going to put it down at the bottom. And let me see if I have, I got my black here. And since it is dark, we'll use black. I actually store my ink upside down. I don't know if that makes any sense to you. That way when I lay it, a stamp on it. And this is Hark the Herald Angels Sing. And you may see me bring out more of the same stamps again. I have lots of phrases. So I'm just going to keep it right about here. And just go straight down. And that's eyeballing it. And I rock it just a little with pressure. So I have that now. And then we're going to get to the rest of it. Super easy. We're going to go ahead and add some tape. Use some glue if you need be. And if it goes over, it's okay. I would actually lay it down farther if you guys are worried. I wouldn't worry about the bottom because it's the base of it anyway. I'm all about that base. That base. I know, right? I'm being silly. So we're going to go and we're going to try to go closer. I'll probably move this all the way over. As close as I can to the edge. And again, this is just randomly doing it. Let's see where that one's at. Let's overlap them just slightly. And you can use glue dots if you want to. I'm just going to overlap just a little bit. And you can use pop dots too, so that it can pop out one present or the next. And if I had more time, I would take 2 of them and pop them. Only because that's the way I would be. Let's save that one. I want to do the next one. A little different shape. Let's go with the smaller in the middle. Just do it quickly. And now you can put that stamp anywhere you want. I did it that way so that it has more of that there. And if you wanted to put another stamp at the top, you can. And put a little picture if you want. But I like the simplicity of this. Now, you could put a quick bow on it. Or you can put a little flower. In this circumstance, since I'm doing a quick video, let me see if I have the... If the buttons will work, because it's something everybody has. Now, of course, you can do twine with that too. Let's see what I got here. So I always keep extra stuff floating around. If not, I have to get my box. I also have, no, that looks more like a cross. It's kind of weird. Let me see what I got, because I always have stuff sitting here. Looking, this is like my scrap thing in my thing here. I have another button. I just saw that I have a bell. Ooh. Maybe I'll put some extra glue down on this here in a little bit. And I'm just going by what people may have at home. Again, if you don't have twine, if you do, you might be surprised that what you have around the house will work. And I'm looking for more buttons, and I can't find any. So I have to get up and get me some buttons. Something that I don't normally expect to have out all the time. I would do a ribbon, but again, at this time, if you're using twine, it's time consuming while I'm doing videos. But giving you those suggestions, I'm looking for a red box. Red. Again, this one. We're going to stick with the shades of red so it pops a little bit more. So I'm going to pull a couple red buttons while I'm talking to you. And then there's one. That's a kind of a lighter color, but it'll pop more. And so you keep your random buttons. I know I do. I don't know about you, but in addition to buying them over the years, I've had people give me their odd buttons. I've bought buttons. Clothes that fall off the buttons. Now, before I put the buttons on, I'm going to trim the bottom off just so that it looks good, more even. This is where I said it doesn't matter. And then that gives you an even. And I'll have to put a little glue because I trimmed off the end on some of it, which is fine. And you never know what you're going to do. And I have my glue right here. I had my glue right here. Well, now. I know I had my glue. I just had that last night. I was working on finishing up those cards. don't know where it went. How crazy is that? I just had it. You know, I probably have it right in front of me. And I don't even know it. And that's the problem that drives me crazy. Oh, have you guys seen these? These are fabulous. I can use them for, I'm telling you, this is going to drive me freaking crazy. Every time I'm ready, something pops up and I don't think it fell. I'm looking down. Nope. So, let me get something. You know what? Let me just use glue, my tape, because I don't want to waste time. I just got to be careful about how I do it. Push that up. And if you're wondering how to get rid of that mark, just roll it off. I know there's a tape eraser, and I had it and never used it. So, if you're wondering, you can always go back in. But I always use my finger to rub it anyway. I don't know why I didn't think of that. So, I hold down the ribbon, quote-unquote ribbon. And again, you can get fancy with twine and put a bow on it. But if you're making a bunch of cards, I really wouldn't get into a lot of that just because of time. So I got my 4 buttons here. And I don't know where. I'm not going to put anything inside because I'm going to leave that for a personal message. And I have some E6000 left. And if it will come out. I had to go buy some new glue. So I'm hoping I have a little bit left in this one. Which I don't normally use this. I usually use glossy. And this one's not letting me. I'm telling ya, you just never know. It's not in here. Oh, I got a glue pen. Or glue tape. Or glue pen. Oh, now I find the tape, guys. Isn't that not ironic? It's not going to hold with that anyway. So, when in doubt, use liquid glue or hot glue. Just put a little. No matter what you probably do, it's going to probably pop off eventually, but the idea is still that they get it anyway. And I'm going to put this one flat. You make do with what you got in front of you. Put the darker one. Move that one around a little bit because it is darker. Put that one. Again, this is what you can do with your stuff that you have at home. So I'm going to set that over to dry. So to me, again, you can put the bow. If you want to put something around the top, you can. You can do a lot of different things. You can put like star at the top, like a Bethlehem star. So you can do it different ways, but you can even cut the card down if you want. If I want to cut the card down, I can cut it down a little bit more, which I may or may not do. But this is just to give you an idea that it comes out just the way you want it, very quickly. Scrap paper, and I'm going to stick that one over to dry. So I'm getting my cards done at the same time. Now, the next card I want to do is, this was one of the ones I have prepped. Let me move this paper out of the way. So I did have some of this prepped, and I'm going to get into like the shutter cards and the dimensional cards more. And the pre-recorded for technically today was supposed to be 4/7. The one I'm going to do 4/4/7 is going to be pre-recorded segments all in one. I'm actually going to do a never-ending card for everybody, which a lot of people are intimidated with, but I would not be. So I really wouldn't worry about it. So I know I'm going to use this one. I know that I said I was going to use that one, and I'm going to use this little scrap piece of paper, and I'm going to use 2 different shades of green, a little white, and a little red, and you're going to see why in a minute. So we're going to make a super, super cute card. Super, super cute. And it doesn't have to be very big, but it is going to be side fold, not top fold. So I'm going to go ahead, and this is a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. And again, this is one of the ones I had prepped for you guys. This is a little more work, but it's okay. So I'm actually going to go, not very big, so I want to go about 5 inches tall. And that's all that much that I'm going to use. And I'm going to go, since it's 12 inches, I think I'll do, say 14, so this is 12, maybe a 5x5. I'm kind of digging a 5x5. I use all different cards. So 5x5, I'm going to take 2 inches off. 5x5. Let's do a 5x5.5, because it's not going to really matter. Let's go that way, so it's a little longer. So if it's 5x5.5, that means I need to take an inch off. I don't know what I'm doing. I have to think logically. So, because you're going to use the length, because you got to fold it. And you're going to flip that over. And again, you're going to fold. If you have a bone folder, just use that. If you don't have a bone folder, use a popsicle stick or your family. Use your family and say, oh, you can use a ruler. Your finger too, of course. Tell your family they can do that. They can help. Now, I just picked this one because I thought it was cute. So I'm going to have a little fun. We're going to put this over for now. And then I'm going to take this. Actually, let me think about it. I want to make 2 of these, so I'm going to use this slender piece. And I'm going to go a 1/2 inch, which makes it a little more difficult when you have this, but this is the reason why with your scraps, because this is at 2.5 inches wide. So I'm going to go, I take a 1/2 inch off. So I have a 1/2 inch. Let me think about it. Let me look at the card, because I don't want to show you what I'm doing yet. No, I want 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to go down. Let me see what I got. Let me go take the other one. 3/4 of an inch. Use what I got. I'm going to try to sneak in at least 4 cards today. And if I do the pre-recorded, I'll be able to do more. So this is, I'm trying to see. This is 3 inches. So I need to go down 3/4 to 2 1/4. That's much better. So, and you guys can do the size that you want. You'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute. So this is 3/4 of an inch, okay? And then I'm going to do another one since that was 2 1/4. I'm going to go to 1 1/2. No, 1 1/2? Yeah. 1 1/2. Right here, if I can get it to stay. And you may already have strips if you're using scrap paper. And that's pretty much all you're going to use for that. You're only going to use that much. Now we're going to go back and we're going to do slivers again, but we're going to do a little chunkier slivers. So I would say it's a 1/4 of an inch. So, I mean, if you want to go this way or you can go that way, but we do know that this is 11 1/2 piece of paper. If you're more comfortable, you can always pop it out. So this is 11 1/2 inch paper. And you can do it lengthwise. But this is exactly 8 inches, 8 by 11 1/2, 8 1/2, no, 8 1/2 by 11. So if this is 8 1/2, so you guys can see this, if it's 8 1/2, we're going to go down just a 1/4 of an inch. Yeah, just a 1/4 of an inch. And we're going to slim cut that, and then we're going to go down another 1/4. I'm going to do another 1/4 here. And just in case, we're going to go down another 1/4. And we're going to do the same thing to the other color. So we can put this up for now. And I'm going to do the same thing to this other green. We're going to do a 1/4, a 1/4, and a 1/4. All single pieces. So I'm going to go down one here. 1/4 here. So I have that. And then I'm going to go down another 1/4. And do another 1/4 going down again. We're going to use these for stripes, if you're wondering. That's the reason why we're doing it this color. So we're going to start multi-layering. And you can do this in different ways. And you'll see, I actually did a layout similar to this for Halloween. It's a reason why I wanted to do this one. And it's super duper cute. And I'm excited to share this one with you. Give me a second, I'm thinking. I have to think sometimes. I need a breather. I have not stopped. And every woman out there, kudos and stay strong, because this is the worst time. I start in October and I don't get to stop even till after Christmas, because I start pulling everything down like the day after Christmas, because after Halloween and Christmas, and I'm just kind of burnt out, if that makes any sense. So you're going to need red, white, 2 shades of green, and some sort of color in the background. Just so you guys want to go and get that. And then you need glue and glitter glue and a little piece of gold, which I had right here that I have leftovers. Probably have to pull a punch. I know I'm going to have to pull a punch. I'm not going to punch you. I just need you to pull a punch. I got a couple of cards you guys are going to really enjoy doing. I'm just tired. I'm telling you. They're going to be super easy cards. Anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to take these 1/4 sections on our 3/4 inch sections. And this is where the glue is going to come in handy. And you can go a different way, but with glue or tape, but for all intents and purposes, let me go with this. Let me find a scrap piece here. So I'm just going to go like this and put some extra glue here and just kind of do it across. Super quick, kind of move it a little bit in more motion so it has more spreadway. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take just a piece of this and then dip it just a little bit, because you don't want it all over your paper. My husband's due home here shortly. And then you're just going to go ahead and just lay it down. Kind of pinch it a little bit, and then you can just cut off a section. And this is why I said it doesn't matter, because we're going to trim it up when we're done. And then we're going to go with the other green and keep going. So you're just going to pin close them together, if you guys can see. Kind of make like a piece of candy. Now this is where it can get very time consuming while I'm talking to you. But it's the reason why I'm trying to push it a little bit. Maybe I should just trim some of this a little bit already. Screw it over, because I don't care if it's not square right now. And let me cut some of these up, because it's going to get very annoying. That way it's a lot faster. I can just stick through the glue. And do the same to the green, because we already have the one stripe with the white. And then, so, now I think I can see your messages if you guys are posting them if I am live. So, I think I set it up that way. It depends if I'm paying attention. So we're going to leave a little bit of a gap, and we're just going to keep going with the whole stripe thing. So again, we're going to just dip a little bit, kind of smooth it out a little bit. We're going to put the same kind of distance between it. If it's not exact, it's okay. We're going to go to the green. We're going to keep going. You can see why I smoothed out the, but you're going to want to make this one close, of course. You can have them gapped a little bit. If you want, you can use different colors. And I'm going to take this one and I'm going to lay it in it. And see how fast I can keep going. Because again, I have the other one. If you want to stop and then maybe fast forward while you're working on yours, feel free. Of course, I'm not going to stop you anyway. So I'm going to put this one down. We'll probably have to put more glue. We're just going to keep going here. And this is going to be one leg. And this is one of the things I probably would have totally prepped for. Now, if the dogs start barking, that's because Daddy's home. And my fingers have glue, so it's a lot easier to pick up. So essentially, we're making almost like a candy cane stripe. And technically, that's almost what it is. And you'll see here shortly. And again, going back to this one, and this may do this one. Again, go ahead and work on yours. I'm I'm probably gonna stop at that. I am on that one, but I can see that we could keep going on this only because I don't think we're gonna need more than one of these rather than two of them. And what I mean by that, I don't think we're gonna need more than one of these 3 by 3 1/4. Probably definitely gonna need more glue. Just a little bit because it dries pretty quick. I gotta catch up on my shows. I've been so behind. My husband's complaining, "You're too far behind on your shows and I can't watch anything." You got sports, leave me alone. He's got his sports. He's all right. And then I need some more cut. And that was so that if you hadn't needed extra, which you can use extra, we can use it for different ways. I don't think we're going to need a lot more. I'm pretty sure we're not. Let me take some more of the darker green. And again, you can do these different ways. You can do them just red and white. It depends on what you want, and you're going to see that here in a minute. I keep saying in a minute, in a minute, in a minute, in a minute. This is the most time-consuming part of it, so... Look at this way. If it starts to get like it is right now, and harder to get off, it's going to stick quicker. It's going to be in my favor with the video. And then I need... See, look, there's already one there for the next one. I had somebody following here. And I know I'm off, so you guys probably aren't watching live today. Necessarily, probably catch it recorded. Which is fine. If you're just following me, I'm happy that you follow me. I don't even know how many people here on my personal page follow anymore. I do appreciate all those that are new following me. I really do. I'm not one of those people that are just saying this. I don't do anything for the money. I don't make any money off of this. I do this simply because I really enjoy doing it. And I know that YouTube... And, I mean, I've had crafts going on for super years, even before I started on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram. I just really enjoy keeping the crafts going. And I know YouTube, like, totally opened up the community for the crafting world and brought a lot of pastimes back, which it's super exciting for me because even I learned something new this year, which makes me happy because I enjoy crafting no matter what. And if you guys saw the pictures in my room on Facebook, because I did a live video on somebody winning, and I need a little more glue, 25 are the box, and I haven't checked my email on that, but I know that I have to go to the post office today. I got to mail some prizes, and I will probably go here shortly. I thought I'd get them out last night, and then I just started falling asleep. I think that's all we're going to need. I have to do the whole one. I'm going to stick this over because this is going to be my sample. And, of course, I can always flip it the other way to use it for different projects. Now, it's going to make it more manageable that you kind of cut it about the same. It's not going to really matter. And more manageable when I say that to trim the back when they're in halves. And I do have a layout. I don't know if it was last year or the year before, on something very, very close to this, and I believe I taught it. Maybe I didn't. And if there's anything you want to know, I'm going to do that paper ornament I was requested to do probably a year ago. I also got a request to share how to do a basket for the Grinch, and it's been a couple years, but I will definitely put that out because I did a Santa one. I just got to make sure I have the faux fur because you need yellow. And I'm just trimming this off. So if you're just joining me, this is 3/7. I was late last week. That is my, I didn't put it up last night. But this is 3/7, and I'm going to do a pre-recorded, and I'm going to post it tomorrow. And I'm going to get into more complicated cards for the pre-recorded. And again, I am sincerely sorry for last week I've been working on. So now we got the stripes here. So you're going to see how this is going to start working. as I start to glue this down, and I think you'll start figuring out what I'm doing. So I'm going to put one like this way. So I'm going to go ahead and tape it. Now, again, you can use glue. For the purposes of this video, I do tape. Of course, I do tape anyway. So I'm going to kind of do this one this way and put it down. And then I'm going to do the other one probably more straight. And like I said, this one might be, it's not really complicated, but it's, normally I would bend them. You'll see what I mean. So now we're going to take the red, and we're going to have a little fun with the red. And I'm just going to trim some of that off. And you're going to see. I'm just, give me a small chunk. If I had to pull it out my scrap, it would have been a lot easier. So I'm just going to cut a piece here. And I'm going to see how wide it is. And we have, I did a 5 wide, if I remember. 5. I'm going to measure it off my mat. Yeah, 5. So I'm going to go 5 wide. So I really kind of need that one. It's 5 wide, which is only about 1/4 of an inch off. So now I had fun with this. Now, and you can have a little fun with it. You can put a little wave to it. And it does not have to be fancy. If you have a wave cutter, feel free to use it. So I have this, and I am going to trim the back of this down, and I think maybe some of you are getting to what I'm doing. I'm going to pull it back and take off about 1/4 of an inch, because I think it's a little too long. Now, if you have an embossing folder, this would be a good piece to emboss, just because it'll give it more texture, but I'm going to go ahead and trim that top piece off here, just so that it does not interfere. And it does not matter if you get too, just as long as you don't get close to the top, so it does not split it. And I got 2 pieces of this, so you can do different size. And I'm going to do it that way. I'm just going to leave it. We're going to put this on real quick. I have more that I'm going to do with it, but I'm just going to leave it at the top so it's done. And I got to see a little bit, so pardon me if I turn it a little more to this side. I like the idea of doing like a printed background. So if you're seeing what we're doing, we are building an elf. So that's the reason why I have the gold. And elf shoes, we're going to go ahead and just use the red because of the purposes here. So we kind of want kind of big ones. But so we're going to do a mirror effect. You guys know how to do the mirror effect, but just it's kind of like making snow angels. Because you're going to use one side or the other. And again, does not have to be perfect. So I'm just going to round it. And then I'm going to go up and give more of a curve, kind of like a canoe. Let's see if I can go back the other way. Normally, if you don't want any edges, I'm going to cut this piece off. Normally, you don't want to have any edges. You want to keep where the scissors are staying right up with you and never leave the paper. Now, the key, if I can do it, is to go wider as you go in. So, I think they come out pretty cute. So, again, with the mirror effect, now you can cut it. And you can put your elf shoe on. Glue those on. Again, for the sole purpose of, get it sole. A little corny. For the sole purpose, I'm using tape to be a little faster on most of this. Now, if you want the elf foot to be a little shorter or longer, and again, you can take care of any of these issues. Let me make sure that I got the right side. This one's going to go this way. And by chance, if you do angle the foot or the leg and it's off, again, just trim it off. It just gives it a little bit more dimensional, and like it's kicking up its leg. For example, like this one, I'm going to do probably like the ankles bent a little bit, just a little bit. And then I'm going to trim this off real quick. And it's going to be super quick. I know I keep saying that, but this part's going to be easy, but I want to go ahead and I want to put a little phrase on this before I go any further. I'm going to pull that scrap piece that I have here, because I did, however, I did pull a stamp for this last night. I just want to get that scrap piece that we were using for glue. And I'm going to kind of measure my stamp and get kind of an idea. So you guys can see the stamp. Friends are the magic of Christmas. And my stamp is 3 inches. So that's all I want to do is 3 inches. And again, this is where the scraps come in. And I'm going to measure where the... See, this is where my board gets gluey. Sticky. Now... And you can mat this, but if you look, it's going to be a little big anyway, so I would trim it down to your heart's desire, to whatever stamp that you may be using. And if you don't have a stamp, here's a little hint. Use your printer. A lot of people are like, well, you can't print off pictures and use them. Yeah, you can. I'll give you a little hint on that, though. If you're going to use your laser printer, I highly recommend that when you do print out pictures to maybe color, I do, and I cannot stress it, I highly recommend that you, I have a piece of black here. I highly recommend that you guys let it sit for like 10 days. And that is because of the fact that that sets the ink in. So don't let anybody tell you can't do that, because I have done it over and over and over again, especially before I got stamps, that it made my life a little bit easier. Now I'm just going to do a little bit of a border because I don't want it to be too big. And then I'm just going to leave it at that for now, because I'm going to go ahead and stamp my phrase, Friends are magical, are the magic of Christmas. And you might see me use this one over again, only because I have a lot of things I can use it with. Now, I'm going to go, it's probably going to be a little off from you guys because I need to see it and the camera's directly in front of my face. And I want to make sure it's lined up pretty good. See, I think it came out real pretty. So, maybe a little off, but maybe that's just my eye. So, I'm going to go in and I'm going to trim this. And again, this is why you can preset it depending on what size that you do. But I'm just going to put a slight edge on it. And I've done this enough times to where I can almost dead nail it on. Because I know the clear part of my card, or my mat. So I'm actually going to pop dot that. If I can find my pop dots. Only because I want it to pop a little bit, obviously. And I use different kinds. I actually just use the Scotch. Sometimes the roll. For something like this, normally I would just put like 2 little pieces at each end and maybe one of these in the middle. I'll put that in there. And that's all I'm going to do. I put one in the middle to stabilize it. So before I do the rest, because when I get the little bell on, you're going to see why I wanted to get this up first. And if you have ribbon or glitter glue, this is where it's going to come in. And I'm assuming that you guys can see what I'm looking at next, if I can get this stupid tape off the tape. This backing. Definitely not my nails. There it goes. Let me take it off camera and make it a little bit easier for me to get. Well, you can't see underneath it. I've had some of you come in and out. Can't thank you for joining me, whether you're live or later. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of put it up here. I don't want it directly on because I do kind of want to see. I'll put it down over here. That covers kind of like the overlay. Pretty cute. And then I'm just going to, if you have a punch, and I do have punches, I just don't want to pull it out. So I'm just going to do, you can put real bells on. And I prefer to do a punch. Especially all you need is, if you have it, is like the newspaper punch. So I'm just going to do a quickie. And it's not going to be perfect. I'm just going to tell you guys right now. It's not going to be perfect because I'd rather use my punch. So I'm just going to curve it. So if you got a paper punch, like punch hole for binders, this is where, like, if you make confetti, this would be a good idea to use that. Or if you have confetti. So I'm just going to do a little dot. I'm actually going to use my glue pen for that. I just had them. I'm going to put it over here. Just a little spot. And we're going to make a, you can make a little buckle. Use my finger. And where'd the other one go? Again, it doesn't have to have it. Part of the reason why, where'd it go? No, it's not my finger. Where'd it go? Oh, Lord have mercy. Where'd my little dot go? Well, geez Louise. Now we just make another quickie, because I'm not going to keep looking. I got my husband a new air fryer today. He wanted a new one that was more digital, because we got one last year. I swear, guys, if you don't have an air fryer, buy it. I actually do not use, we're going to make a little strip. I'm not going to totally see it on the one side. Just going to do another strip. Just going to cut it. And I'm going to make a little bit of a buckle. Make a little belt and a buckle. Kind of keep measuring it. You take a little more off. Would make more sense to have it on before. So I'm just going to do a quick, wherever my glue pen went, I put it back actually. Weird. This is my glue marker more. I do recommend these two. They help. And I'm just going to do, you can get into very tiny pieces. I will show how to make a buckle on another card better, but this is just a quickie. Yeah, there's my husband. Dogs are going to bark. Just a pre-warning. Daddy's home. They go crazy. He's a little late. Scoot it over. See? I got a little bit of a buckle. Again, if I was not doing on video, I would take more time. But the idea is to teach you a little extras as you go. And I'm going to stick it up underneath there. But you will see the edging. That's why I'm doing it. Ideal would be better to do it beforehand, of course. I think all these little things afterwards. And if you don't have tweezers, like these are the opposite. When you tweeze normally, it's different. So I'm going to do a little piece of gold. And a little cut here. I think I'm only going to end up doing 3 for this one. I'll do one more for sure. And I'm going to put a little glue on the tip so I can pick it up. If it'll let me. There we go. Hey, honey, did you see your new toy? I only did this because you're going to see a slide of it. Just a little bit of it. Okay, so now here's the cool part. Now, it is good. I am going to go and use some glitter glue. Now, or not glitter, actually, not glitter glue. I'm actually going to use glitter, which I think that's going to amaze people because I don't usually use glitter because it's messy. And my husband and son complain. And of course, they just open it up. So I'm going to use the glue in the little tube. Now, one thing about some of these little tubes is you can refill them. This one you can't. I know that there is, Elmer's has some that I actually do use that are refillable. You can also get some at Tuesday Morning. And you only want to do this. And again, if you wanted to do a print, it'd be really cool. And we're going to use glitter glue on the rest. But let me use, my kids are going to turn, my son's going to yell at me about the glitter glue. You'll be like, just don't come in my room. Super easy. Of course, you can use silver. You can make it deeper. I'm I'm just going to do it simple because it's for the purpose, again, of this. Get the orange chicken out of the freezer. So that, and then of course my favorite, stickles. And I'm only doing this because I'm going to do some of the snowflakes. See, this is where the magic comes in that goes with the title. And don't spend so much time on it, it's not worth it. If you look at stores or cards in department stores, they don't even do this much. Some of them do, but the glitter, they just usually just slap on a small coat of it. And this is just a quick one. And this is something the kids can do with you. Can everybody do like a factory line? And you can easily, if you do a whole bunch in a row, if you're doing different things, you can sit in front of a TV and have fun with this. Now, I did do this in a layout for a witch. And I actually used my design and cut. No, my brother scan and cut. And I found the image and found it. So, let me put a little magic. Let's put a little magic around the edge. And we now have that one. Let's see how fast I can get to the other one. I always say they're fast, but just kind of spread it out a little bit. So there's card number 2 for today. So super cute, super simple. It is simple. It's a little time, but it is simple nonetheless. And I'm going to put this one over to dry. That's 2. And then let's see what we got next. Let me think about it because I have a bunch of cards that I have been thinking about. This one, I have a couple of them I want to do. I didn't want to overcast you guys too much. Let's do, I didn't even think about that. Let's do something really fun. And I'm going to go back to this piece of paper. Now, this is actually going to be the inside of the card. We're going to start from the inside out. I think we're going to start from the inside out. Yeah, we're going to start from the inside out. So we're going to go just a 4. It's going to be a 4 card. So if it's a 4 by 12, let me think. I'm going to do 4 by 12. We're going to do kind of smaller. Take off 2 inches. Take off 2 inches. And this again is using what you have in front of you. If you got some sheets and say you pick up some. Now I'm going to do it this way only because I want to see the edge better because it's a print and white on the back. If it's two-sided, coordination is generally, coordination is cool. You can do coordinations in different ways. Now I'm going to do, this one's more widthwise rather than a long way, or it's vertical, not horizontal. So I'm going to go more this way. I'm just going to cut this one. I'm going to go a little bit more. And then I'm going to cut it a little bit shorter. And then I'm going to do this one. I don't want to go too high. Because this is going to be like a 3-dimensional. Now, if you don't have a scoreboard, which is fine. You can use a scoreboard, but it does get a little more complicated. So just bend it back, level it out. Do the same on the other side. I'm right-handed, so I have to think about it. I personally never understand the price. I mean, you can go buy cards. Me, I actually prefer to make them because you put the money into them. People don't do cards like they used to. It's kind of sad. And we're only going to go to this edge right here. So now I got to measure off this corner. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side, and then I'm going to go back to the other. Bend it in. Well, these are cool to make trees with. I'm going to go back over and do this side. And I'm not going to measure to this one. I'm going to measure to this one. But this way I have that dimension a little bit. And do the same here. So now we have like a staircase effect. It's almost like a cake. And then it will fold in a card. So this is where you want to use that popsicle stick or something. And I'm just going to use the back of a pair of scissors because I want a better crease. So we have that. So we have that whole 3D pop out look. Now, before I put it inside of a card, I want to make sure that I get the card done. So I want to use some more scraps again. Hopefully I have something a little more fun here. I may or may not. Let me see what I got. I got more in here. You know I do. Oh, that's too blue. I do have this. I don't know if that goes with it. I don't like it. Not for this project. Now I can use the scraps I was using again. These are great. You can make them into birthday cakes. I have some paper here. I have some print over here. Let me look at some of this print. This is my solid paper. Oh well, let's go back to this side. Let's pull some paper out of, where did I pull some out enough? I have some out here. That's another blue that wouldn't look right. Let's look at what I got in this paper pack by Pebbles. I kind of like that one. That's kind of neat. Let's go to the front first. You've seen me use the musical on it. This might be a little weird, but let's use that one. Coordinate with that one. Because they're all the same colors, I'm just going to use the first three. We're not going to use a lot of it anyway. But I think this would be great for the front. We're going to use that one for the front. So it all coordinate because the colors on the snow fits with it. So I will get to this piece in a minute. We are going to, let me put this back over here. We are going to now trim this down. And we're going to measure these because I didn't measure. You can exactly measure if you want. I go by the seat of my pants most of the time. So if you guys are doing it with me, we are right at about just shy of 1.5. So we're going to go 1.5. And let's go green up. No, yeah, green up. So I need to cut just a small strip of this off. We're gonna go, actually I kind of like this. Let's use the piece to this. If I'm doing 1.5, or just shy of 1.5, let's go like a full, let's go that full. And if it's too long, it's okay. Then we can go back and trim it. I kind of like the end of that because of the, like say, the top of a box. And see, you can see that it'll have a different one here. So let's go back and see if it fits in here. And it should fit in just right, but I want to make sure it's stacked at the top more than I am the bottom. So the bottom's fine the way it is. So, I mean, the great thing about this one is that you can just measure it and then get close to the end. And then you can work with that. But this way, you can use the glue, but I can see by pointing this back outwards where it is. It's right there at that corner. I don't want to put it on the paper because of what I'm doing. So this is going to be like a top of a box. Now I can see where the paper goes, and I can keep trimming. Again, you can cut exactly if you want. Obviously, if you had more time, I'm going to guesstimate right here. And then I can see that it goes over a little more. I'm going to trim it up until I can get to that point. A little bit more. As you bend it, you can see it. Just a teeny bit more. It still needs a little. I'm just, All right. So now when you get this piece, I'm going to go ahead and bend it again because you want that crease right about there. So now you got that one. And that's super cute. And then we were going to go with, say the red stripe. Let's go red stripe. Because it's like in between. And I don't really care for the top of this, so we'll have to come up with something else. And I don't want the stripes going sideways. I want them going, or vertical. I want to go vertical, not, I'm going to stick it right here because I want to double check my measurement. With the ruler, measure twice, cut once. In my case, I might cut many times. So if you pull it back up, this one's exactly 1 1/4. So, of course, if you don't have like where it gives you that sample on the other side, then you can just put a pinstripe, which is what we're going to do on this one. So we're going to pinstripe this at the top. But if you're wondering with what, I think we have the lighter color that we were just using. Scraps. See how it fits in just a little bit, it pops a little bit. And then I'm just going to glue across the top. See right there? Unless I go with this one, which I don't think that one. Oh, we can do white. I like white better. And we're going to make this a little bit more. We're not going to need a lot for that, so let's just kind of guesstimate. Because it's not as long as the other one. So we're going to go, because we already know it's 1 1/4. On vertical, we're going to do horizontal now. So we're pretty close on right here. And again, I'm going to tape it. I think you'll like this. I'm going to coordinate it with that stamped image that I had at the beginning at the sample here. I'm just going to trim it here. So I don't have to deal with it. So again, you're going to find the curve, the bend in, lay down to it, and back over. And again, if you have the exact measurement, if you know what you're doing, do it that way, obviously. I'll make it a little bit more complicated than it needs to be. So now we got this. And we're going to again bend it. And you can, of course, start to, you can always go back and glue edges, which I will. When the video's over, I will. All of them should bend together. Now we have 2 presents. Super cute, right? Now we're going to go to the same one we started with. But again, we're going to measure. And it's not going to be the same width. And I can tell you that right now because of the fact I wanted to leave the top. So this is just like 1 1/8. But I'm using the top of it. And this should be pretty easy technically. Because that's exactly. This is going to be quick, I think. Okay. And I'm just going to trim. I just need a little piece. I'll just pull this over. Okay, we're just going to need a little piece, but we're actually going to go, we're going to go this way, right? Yeah. So if it's a little higher than the rest on this, it's this one is fine. Only because, you know, you can put a bow at the top. You can do, like in the first card, you can do it many different ways. And then since I want it this way, I don't want the hole on this side. I'm going to start with this crease. So if you're left-handed, smash it in. Bend it a little bit in the middle. A little bit because it's off and it's going to drive me crazy. There we go. And then we have our present. I'm going to find that bend. Again, measuring it and using a scoreboard is better, but I do teach, now I know how to do all that obviously, but I teach it this way because that's the whole idea of teaching the simple cards, so that people that do not know, or you have kids that want to learn to make cards, or if you're new. I have several people that are new even on my page. So now we got our little presents, and I want to bend it one more time to verify it. In the middle. This is how you bend it. And then you turn and flip it the other way, where it's back to the back. And then you're going to push. I don't know who's burping. That's gross. So now we got our cute little presents. And again, you could have done the same thing with like the wrap. So I like that. And then of course you can put something up here. Now this is the inside. And I'm going to stick this over because I said that we were going to come back to this piece. And I'm kind of digging, I'm liking the stripes. I'm liking the stripes. So I want to go back. And since, again, I will show you that the card is a 4x6. No. 4 1/4. 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 by, is it 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 when you start folding it? Yeah. But I am going to trim that down. Let's go ahead and trim it down so I never have to worry about it again. And I would trim it down, honestly, because when you start bending it, it's gonna start showing possible, because unless you use scoreboard and you want a scoreboard, my experience is that you're always gonna have edges that aren't perfect. So we got that. So 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 is 8 1/2. So we have the width of this. So it's 4 1/4. No, 4 1/4 and 4 1/4, right? How are we doing that? I want to make sure that I have it the way I want. I think so. 4 1/4 and 4 1/4 is 8 1/2. So we're going to trim it down to 8 1/2. I'm going to try to do some more videos on some of these guys just so that I can start catching up. I'd really like to get 100 cards in, though. I did do a lesson how to do the meow. Now see, when we fold this, it's going to perfectly fit into it. So now we're going to fold. And I still don't want to put that insert in, but you can check it. And again, if it's a little big, then you can always trim it, because it's okay. And a lot of times I still trim it even after what you just saw me do. Now you can go ahead and put it in. Now my suggestion is that you only tape one side first, because that way, and you're going to want to tape the inside of the other. I don't suggest doing it at the same time. But for this one, you're going to want to go around the edges because you want it to stick permanently, especially when you're looking at the seam here on each one of the presents. Now you can also make this into a birthday cake. I actually taught how to make it into a birthday cake probably about 5 years ago. So this is going to be the inside to the left or to the right. It really doesn't matter because of the striping. It depends on how you want to do your card. Now, you don't want to go all the way to the edge on the inside. You want to be slightly out. Just slightly, like not even 1/8 of an inch. Because you want it to be able to pop more. So, again, you can always trim, and you're going to see how we'll trim it at the end. So now we have that side. Now we need to do the other side. Okay? I did that wrong. Hopefully I won't tear it wrong. And I am tearing it. You know what? I'm just going to cut it. I'll cut another piece. It has to go out some. See? I had to think about it when I think too much. And it's okay. It just makes it stiffer. I had to think about it. Just give me more scrap. I forgot to make room for it. So it was 8.5 and 8.5. I need to do 9.5 wide. So 4 1/4 by 9.5. See again, even when I do it, I still make mistakes. So I'm going to do 9.5, so that means 2.5 inches has to come off. So if you want to do it this way, and for the sole purpose of this, because I know how to do it the other way. Alright, so now you fold it, and then we're going to go right to the, we're not going to go all the way in. I had to think about it. Unless I'm going to do a slider. I have taught, I did a Spider-Man one that was a slider. I might do a spinner. I got a couple spinners that I can teach. Just let me know. I definitely want to do a spinner. I think I said I was going to do a spinner. So you get into this, and you want to come a little bit out because you do want it to pop. So I'm going to go 1/2 inch out so that when I do it, it's going to go out like this. You see what I'm saying? See when it closes and it opens and it closes. So I want to go to the edge of this. And this is why I don't understand why I messed that up. I wasn't thinking my husband's home and I'm thinking food. I'm thinking orange chicken, which is sweet and sour chicken. I love sweet and sour chicken. Now this is, like I said, is one of those ones that you definitely want to put extra glue and tape on. And if you're using glue, take your time and let one side dry. So, now again, the difference than what I just did and screwed up on is you actually want to go all the way to the edge. I don't know if you can see. All the way to the edge. See, he's in there watching basketball. So that gives you, and again, if it needs to be trimmed again, it's okay. When you get into some of these complicated ones, even with die cutting machines, and you start to level them off yourself, you're still going to have pieces that you need to trim. So I would never worry about that until the bitter end. Like I've already trimmed this once, I will trim it again. I always trim because nothing's perfect. Don't be OCD about it. It's just not worth it. It really isn't. It just depends on what kind of dimensional cards that you want to do and how much time you want to spend on cards and how fancy you want to give them. So now you've got the present box that pops out. Now again, I'm going to go ahead and trim this. I'm going to trim it all the way around. Just by a hair of my chinny chin chin. Just so that I feel better about it. And this is where you can be a little OCD about it. This is a self-sharpening cutting board. It is the one that goes for like $129 or so at Michael or Joann's. I highly suggest it. You get any good coupons, definitely use it. I happened to get it on sale, and then I got my discount when I worked at Joann's, and I have no regrets. Now, if you wanted to put colored paper back here, you can, especially with birthday cakes if you want to do layers. but in this purpose I did not. Now I did go with the king to king stripe on the front, and that is because I really like this one too. So I'm gonna go, I know it's 4 1/4, so, and by 4 1/4, I'm just gonna cut 4 1/4. I'm thinking too much. I go this way because I have that edge at the top, so I know we're gonna go, if it's 4 1/4, we're gonna go 4. No, I want to go down to 4 1/4. 4 1/4. We're going to go down to 3 3/4 because I want to do another background. I want to see if I have some brown out. But I think I'll use the snowflake. So we know that it's going to fit this way or this way. We know that it's going to be a little big. So what we got to measure is here, which I believe is 4 1/2. So we're going to go down to 4. And I'm having a hard time seeing because I'm watching you guys. So I have that. I really like this. So I really want to put an edging around it. So I'm going to go back to that snow paper because I want to use as much of it as possible anyway. I swear I've got a big piece in here somewhere. I'll put my scraps over. Yeah, this is going to be my last because I'm really hungry. And you can use a different color. I'll put some of this over because it's just in the way now. And I don't think I have a big enough for that. Let's see where my other snow one is in the paper pack. This is still the Pebbles paper. And if not, I have a coordinating sheet. Yeah, well, I have a coordinating sheet that's not exact, but the same color. And that's okay. So this works. And so I'm just going to go, we know that this is 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. Now the other one was, see, I'm not thinking, I'm hungry. Guys, I'm thinking food. Food. So this one is 4, so I'm going to go, yeah, see, I was right, 4 1/4 by 4. So there is 4 1/4 right here. And this is going to come together now really quick. And I know I keep saying that, but this is 4. I love to say that, don't I? Sorry. Because I didn't have enough. If you can see, I didn't have enough of those bit coordinates. So I'm actually going to put this piece on. I'm going to do this piece first. I need to trim it a little bit more. But I want to see how much I got to trim it. So I'm going to put this piece on. And this piece actually matches. And because this one matches, I want to trim that one down because this is where I get, you know, because I may have miscalculated or the board slipped. And it's probably more of my miscalculations. But I talk and I don't have to talk. But you guys know I like to talk. So I'm going to go ahead and see, like, I'm going to put it on here. See, this is a busy one. So sometimes I don't like to do busy cards because it can get confusing. But I'm just going to go ahead and leave it as is right here. And, or I can do it this way, but that doesn't make no sense. Let's make sure that the presents are on the bottom. And then we need to put a phrase on it, of course. I'll put this one on a little better. And I have stamps here, guys, so I'm going to put a little one on. That's where you can see the edging. I like it. So I don't want to do Hark the Herald. I don't want to do that one. Yeah, I can do this one. I'll do this one. It's kind of big, but look where I can put it. I'll put it on a piece of white with red. And this one's easy because I do have a piece of white here. Coordinate it out where it works just in place on it. Again, scraps. This one's a brand new stamp. And make sure it's in there. I'll tell you what it says as soon as I print it out. Now this is me eyeballing it because I got you guys in front of me. I don't roll it too much because then it blurs like this. I rolled it and it moved when I rolled it. But I'll save that for another card. Because sometimes I don't really care. I make a card for somebody I don't really like them. That's not it. I rolled it in that one. And then again, it's got a shadow, so screw it. I just have two. So I'm going to trim down the edges on this, and then we're going to eyeball it to a lot of extent. And when I mean eyeball it, it's using scraps. So you can see where I said eyeball it. I'm going to trim the top, just the hair. I'm going to do a sliver on it. It's all eyeballing. I can't use black because it would be too much, and the green would be too much for the front. Red would be too much. So let's go back to the snow. I'm going to use the snowflakes. So that'll pop it a bit. This is a busy card. I don't always like to do busy because it can get distract you from the message of the card or the concept. So I will tell you what it says here. It actually says, somehow, not only at Christmas, but all the long year through, the joy that you give to others is the joy that comes back to you. And that is by John Greenleaf. So again, I'm gonna eyeball it here. I'm gonna do that. Oh, that's pretty good. See, came out pretty good. And then I'm gonna actually do it this way. When you have a chance, do it that way, because from this other side, you actually get a better cut because you can see it better. See, perfect. And I don't want to do too much. I kind of like the way the card is as it is, but I don't want to go, I can go this way. That distracts you, don't it? I kind of digging that, but I don't want to do it all the way. I'm killing my snowman. I wanted the snowman to show. Oh, that's great. Let's go a little bit at an angle. I think, no, I look wrong. I guess I'll just go to the corner completely. It's okay. It's alright. It's okay. We're going to do it anyway. Now, of course, you can do your front the way you want. And I would like you to see what you do. So I would love for you to try any of the cards that I've been sharing. How to do quick cards, though you may not think it's quick. But you get the first one done, everything goes pretty quick. So I do have stickers. I always have stickers. So I am looking for my Christmas stickers. Which I have 2 boxes here. I actually have it all out, and if I'm telling my family to stay out of my room because it's not a good idea to come in here right now. So I know I have a couple little fun things here, and I'm looking for coordinating pieces. I have phrases, which I don't need right now. I'm looking for something kind of cute, nothing too much. Just something to set off the top. Nope, nope. Well, yep, nope. This could be kind of interesting, but I don't know if that will work. Nope, I don't think it will. I do have some chips here. I have a reindeer, which is too much. I have plans for the nutcrackers. So, what do I have that would work? These will actually match. See, these are from EP. These match, and there's like a brown on it. So, I mean, I can lift this edge up. And I think I will do that. I'm going to lift that edge up because I kind of like that Rocky Horse. Kind of digging it. Dig the rocking horse out. Oh, he should be already sticky. I've had some of these for so long. Take that piece out. Take that piece. See, he's brown and he's red. Still see the snowman, but the colors coordinate. I guess I can put the snowflake up in the corner. That'll give it more blue. Now, whether it covers stuff or not, which it is. Super simple. I don't want to do any more. Again, what can we do in here? I want a topper per se, but I don't think there's going to be a topper. And that's not the right color. And I don't see anything here. I mean, I guess I could put like Santa in over here. Which that'd be cool. Let's put Santa in right here. I can go up a little higher. I love the 4K here, guys. Let's see. I guess I can do Joy. They're all popping out now. I'm looking at the small ones. I have had to glue some of these things on with the back on, and it has driven me crazy. And then when I go to put it on and then go back, it would come off the back and I'd have to re-glue it. Because these stickies don't stick very long. I'm going to put this one up at the top here. Okay, gotta worry about that. So it's just a little bit. Now, of course, you can do glitter glue, which y'all know me. I want my glitter glue. If you're watching me and following me, you know I do. I love my glitter glue. I'm just going to go around here. I'm just going to rub my finger over. I don't know what he made, because I didn't get lunch done, or my dinner. I do a little bit here. Somewhere around some of the white, around some of the pieces. Just a little detail. And then I can go into here and do the snowflakes. I do every other one because you have to write on it. This is where I recommend felt tip 10 pens. And if you ever give anybody, or you give somebody a project that like made with black background paper, or you use it for the center, be sure to give them a white chalk pen, because most people don't carry those around the house. So think about that when you're doing a project and using black. If you're outlining, it's one thing. Like when I did my mom's back last summer, her design and books for quilting. I made a 6 series set for 12 months. Each book had 2 months, and it was made with Graphic 45. And Graphic 45 tends to be very dark. If you guys want to look, it's there on videos last year. But just note that when you're using black and expecting people to be able to write on it. And if you're using black, I don't actually recommend chalk pens. They suck. I have like 4 different kinds here, and I've never had any luck with them. So this is just an extra touch. And if you do it very quickly and not stay on it so it doesn't get real bubbly and chunky, you can see where I'm at an hour and a half for these 3 cards. I know there are people that do, you know, 10 cards in 30 minutes, but they fast forward and I don't. This way I come into your house and you're not alone when you're doing them. And you can work with me as we go. My mother-in-law says that I'm like Bob Ross. I looked up to him because I paint. And I want to get to my nativity scene that Inedueza. I always call her my surprise in Arizona because I can't pronounce her name right. And I don't want to embarrass her. But she's always she's from Surprise in Arizona anyway. So as far as I'm concerned, this card is done. So we got our 3 stack presents. It's a 3-dimensional pop. It's got to dry a little bit, but here's the front of it. Super simple and easy. Look for stickers. It's basically the same design. I took too much time on that so that you guys know that. But I think it came out really cute. So one of my fancier cards so far. And I hope you like it. I hope you like 1 and 2. This is section 3 of 7. I will do a pre-recorded for tomorrow. So each section will be different cards. But they will be one video. And I will get into a little bit more complicated cards on that one. So I'm going to let you go. And I'm going to come back. I'm going to try to do more and more cards. Next couple days are insane for me. And then I have more time. But guys, hope you liked it. And I will see you in the next video.